welcome to Streaming Rainbow. My name is Sera, and I will be your GM for this adventure. This is the very first episode of Streaming Rainbow, and we could not be happier that you are joining us. Streaming Rainbow is a collective of GMs who love telling stories with their friends. We hope you enjoy this episode and all future episodes to come. Today, we will be using the Fate system, which, if you are unfamiliar with, we also have a quick tutorial featuring myself and a couple other Streaming Rainbow GMs explaining how to use the system that way that you can follow along and understand the roles and technical terms that are being used. If you're just here for the story, that's cool too. It won't be hard to follow along. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching, and let's get to it. So, in the year 1066, the celestial phenomenon that would later be known as Halley's Comet appeared in the sky over Europe. To the English, it was thought of as a bad omen. Earlier in the year, King Edward the Confessor had died, and the future under his successor, King Harold Godwinson, felt uncertain, let's say. However, to William, the Duke of Normandy, the bright and mysterious stellar object was a sign that the time was right for him to make his move to conquer England and become its king. He assembled an invasion fleet and waited for the most opportune time to strike. In September, while Harold's army recovered from defeating a Norwegian invasion, William made his move. He sailed his army to land at Pevensey and began to build fortifications at the town of Hastings, from which he raided the surrounding area and waited for Harold to come to him. We come now to October 12th, 1066. Hastings has been an occupied town for several weeks. William claims to be the rightful heir to the throne, having been promised it by Edward, and carries with him the blessing of the Pope. But the residents of Hastings haven't really seen William, only his men, overseen by Robert the Count of Eu. The Normans, as an occupying force, are somewhat harsh, conscripting some of the able-bodied townspeople and forcing others out of their homes to provide lodging for their own soldiers, while their wooden castle is being finished. But Halley's Comet has something more in store for Hastings today. Let's start our day. Ida, your father wakes you from a deep sleep. Wake up, girl. You're going to sleep the day away. There's mending to be done on the nets, and with your brother conscripted by the bloody Normans, there's none to do it but you. God, I miss your brother. Curse these bastards for 100 years for taking him from me and leaving me with nothing but a weak girl to help an old man with his fishing.
Yes, yes, Father. I will go quickly as I can.
Make sure you do. I'm off. So, and take care of the washing while you're at it.
Of course.
He leaves. He's immediately out the door, and you could tell that he was not sober. He's just he's a mess right now.
This is normal. This
Mm-hmm.
has been even before uh William came in and took over Hastings. My father was not usually sober. Um but at least I had my twin brother to help soften whatever blows came our way. Ida gets up, puts on her clothes, gets like dressed and ready to go for the day, and just starts her daily tasks of just okay, cleaning, like making a rough bread or whatever, doing her home tasks as the only woman in the house. Uh, just kind of vaguely angry about everything and frustrated and but doing it because that's her duty. So
Understood. And when you have your tasks done and are free to leave the house, where do you go?
I think Ida um pulls on a warm shawl of some kind because it's a port city. It's
Mm-hmm.
October. It's not going to get like freezing, but it's still a little raw, or can be a little raw on the water. So she grabs a basket and she fills it with whatever she can to make some money. And she goes out into, makes her way down to the port to see what she can sell and what money she can make, and also kind of what gossip she can hear, especially about what's happening with the warring factions. She does Nothing is ever told to her directly, so she gets it all by kind of skirting her way around through a crowd. So yeah.
Ooh, that sounds like a chance for an investigation roll.
Yes. Okay. I don't have it on my thing, so let's hope for the best. That would be an exact 0. Mediocre.
Mediocre. Yeah, you don't really hear a lot today in the way of rumors. Um, Someone says something about um, the count uh, being coming into the city today. City, the town. I live in a city, so I'm used to saying city. Uh,
It's quite bustling. It's
it's a
very
bustling
busy.
city, yeah.
There's a whole almost 200 people in this place. Massive.
So you don't hear a whole lot, but you do sell some of your stuff, and that will probably, if you tell your father, make him happy.
I think that I do put a portion away, but I do absolutely squirrel a little bit away for myself
Hmm.
for a rainy day, or for the day when my father drunkenly does something stupid and I'm left on my own. So, yeah.
As seems inevitable at some point. Yes.
Yeah. More and more likely going to happen. So,
All right. So the day goes along quite. Excuse me, cat. The day goes along quite uh, well. Really, you have a good time. Get to talk to people in the on the docks. Um, what do you do when you start to hear horns? The horns are basically, we have an announcement sort of thing. Uh, if you hear horns, it's because someone is calling the town to action, or calling the town to the town square to gather.
um, would these horns be something that I've heard my whole life, or is this a new thing with the conquerors in with the
This would
Normans
be
in?
something that's not new.
Not new. Cool. I immediately would follow uh, what we were supposed to do. So, without even thinking about it, just go to the gathering place wherever it may be.
Excellent. Everyone is meeting up in the town square. So we will go on to Anush. Anush, you are awakened this morning by the shuffling of movement of the others who slept in the hall with you. The hall is full to the brim due to the displaced townspeople whose houses are being used to house Norman soldiers, and they all seem to want to wake at dawn to get to work. And it's at that point pretty much impossible to continue to sleep.
Well, I don't think I am unaccustomed to waking up early and to want to get things done, to want to get things worked on.
Hmm.
So I think instead of like grouchy or angry about it, I see it as a good omen, a sign that I'm in the right place, that my routine will kind of stick to itself. And I'm interested to find that even these people here have this drive that I do. And I think I get up. First thing I do is check that all my things are there, all my scrolls, all my like fabrics, make sure my hair is put up in my like tight turban, and I put on my sandals. And I think I do take a lot longer to get ready than everybody else. I realize that I don't smell great. Maybe like take some oils and put them on. My skin is like it's like a brown olive color from being like out in the sun, and it's like always dry. So I think then I kind of look up, like grab my scrolls, like grab my writing utensils, and like my bright, like a lit wide hazel eyes are like in observation mode. I'm going to where the people are, and I'm going to write down what I see.
All right. You follow out. The people are all over. They are going to their workplaces early to get ready. They are going out to the fishing nets. They're going out to the docks.
Hmm.
Um, there is a shipwright who is directing his apprentices to the docks. Um, and you quickly follow the sort of zeitgeist of the moving people in the town to where there's the most bustle, and that is the docks, where you've got on one side of the docks there is a ship in port that's being built still. Um,
Hmm.
on the other side, you've got the commercial fishing and merchant boats, and it's very full. Actually, it's weirdly for a town that is currently occupied. It seems to be a popular place.
Yes, this is probably the exact place. I think I would sit on the dock, take like a linen like wrapped pouch full of like nuts and like seeds and like dried fruits, and like place it down next to me. Take out like a water skin that I had got water from the well, and promptly like boiled half of it away just to make sure, just to be safe. I probably like made a small fire outside of the hall, just like being like, oh, maybe got in trouble.
Probably.
And I take out a scroll and I take out some inks, and I start to like denote time and note who is doing what job, like what are people like interested about, talking about, like the social, the statistics, um, and really just get a sense of where I'm at and what is happening.
All right. So after a while of sitting and noting things down and getting your bearings there, uh, a small child approaches you. Um, he's looks like he's about maybe 6 or 7, and he stands there. He's obviously one of the children from the town, and he's just looking at you. He's come up close to within the distance where, if he were not a child, a polite adult would have introduced themselves. But instead, he's just sort of in your space, looking at you as though you're a strange object he's found.
I'm going to mirror back what he is doing to me. I'm going to look at him, and I'm going to point behind him.
He suspiciously turns and looks.
What do you see?
The duck?
Is there anything different you see?
I see you. Mummy says you're a Saracen. Is that why your skin is a strange color?
What is this word? Serson?
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's what Mummy said.
Maybe she's right. Maybe she's wrong. What do you think?
I think you smell nice.
Hmm. Do you want to smell nice?
This child looks like the idea has never occurred to him before in his life. Uh, yeah, I do.
I put up my hands to him and like show him how to like cup his hands, and I look knowingly at him. I don't say anything. Just want to see if he does it.
He will absolutely immediately mimic you.
I'm gonna take some oils, some nice like rosemary like scenting oils, and I'm gonna pour a little bit in his hand. I'm gonna put it back in my satchel, and I'm gonna rub my hands together and pat him on my neck.
He just starts patting his face.
Be careful. You might be a witch sooner than you think.
Oh, he looks scared now. You have said something that has flipped his switch.
Ah. Now why are you scared of this?
I,
Is it this word or that you might become one? And I instantly start writing down what he says.
Father priest says not to suffer a witch to live.
Hmm. So you think you would not live if you become a witch?
I think witches are bad.
You think witches are bad? Do you think maybe that they stop bad people? They stop bad things, and the bad people are the ones who want to kill them.
You talk strange.
Hmm. So do you?
Okay, and he turns and runs away.
I write down exactly the exact interaction we had.
Ah. So after a couple hours, sitting there, you hear horns in the distance, coming from the center of town. Uh, People look, some of them look annoyed, some of them look concerned, but everyone, after grumbling a bit, seems to start heading into the direction of the center of town.
I think I am going to slowly get my things, and once everybody has moved to the center of town, make my way to the center of town, making sure to like observe any stragglers, like how fast do some people move, how slowly do some people move, who cares, who doesn't.
Hmm.
You know, the real nitty gritty of it all.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Moving on. Hafthor. With the overcrowding in the hall, you've been sleeping on your boat. You've got a little bedroll set up below decks where you and your very small crew slept during your trip. And despite your attempts to sell your wares since arriving here, you are still surrounded by your hand-carved tchotchkes and uh, basic goods. You are awakened this morning by the sound of one of said knickknacks falling to the floor. Um, it is your crewman, Ulf. He is looking embarrassed at having woken you up by knocking into one of the boxes.
Ugh. Is the sun up?
It is
Another day.
another day in this accursed place.
Truly cursed. What, I think we must make a decision soon, whether we stay in this cursed place or move on. Where's the other one? Is he sleeping?
Already up.
Of course. Okay. Yeah, I do not believe Hastings may have much more information for us. I do not know how long the Normans will be building their castle.
They're building it right fast.
Yes. Plus, it's so hot down here. I hate it.
If you would take off the fur.
Yeah, but then how do I carry my weapons? I took it off to sleep, and I find relief in my sleep, which is why I wish to sleep. For more relief.
He sort of takes the hint and creeps out of the below decks area, creaking up the stairs and going to join your other crewmen.
I think Hafthor sort of sits on his little. It's just a. He's the only one that gets something off the ground, and it's just a hammock. So he sat up, just kind of sitting on the edge of the hammock, and thinking about the predicament he's in, and thinking about how he feels like he's in. I guess, for lack of a better word, he wouldn't really understand this, but he's sort of in a checkmate situation where there's almost no good way out, but he feels like he's trying to outthink something that circumstances won't let him out of. That he didn't get beat with by anybody outthinking him, but that he's just stuck. And every morning this is sort of his routine where he sits and contemplates and slowly gets dressed as he slowly gets dressed, thinks about what moves he needs to make and what he needs to do for the what's best for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then heads up and probably goes to try to find Anush.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've already been through Anush, but we can do a little vignette.
Well, yeah. So I think, yeah. Well, I get up and, he could waste the day away until the horn sound. I think that makes sense. Just kind of fixing things on the boat, maybe trying to carve a couple more, add a little more details to his. He tried to sell some of them. He's trying to sell them as essentially as like little toys for kids, and somebody told him his cat looked like a horse, so he's trying to figure out how to make the ears a little different. And that took entirely too long.
Part of me wants to make you roll a crafts roll for this.
Hey,
Yeah.
I
Do
think
it.
that's fair.
Make a crafts roll. Let's see how good your cat gets.
It's that
Yeah,
weird medieval art where everything's so flat.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
How can a 3D thing be so flat?
Oh, we are in the -1 average zone. Or sorry, poor zone. Sorry,
Poor. Hmm.
poor.
Yeah, it
That's
still
about
looks
right.
like a horse.
Yeah, looks it's not great. So I look to Oof and I'd be like, how are we going to sell these? I cannot. I need a smaller knife. There's no blacksmith. The blacksmith's been conscripted. Because he's been with like a hand axe. It's not even like, because all he has is like a hand axe and a sword, right? So he feels like he's trying to get details with like the corner, right? It's like, yeah, it's like trying to use like a skill saw or like a sawzall to try to like woodwork and like whittle, right? He's just like, he doesn't have the right tools for the job, but he's starting to get a little concerned about food and stuff, which is why he's not sure what if he needs to move on to the next port.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yes, you completely fail to improve your cat, but you do have the time to think over your plans and your situation while you craft. And you sort of get into the groove of it, and even though you're doing it poorly, you get you're what's the word I'm looking for? Immersed. You're immersed in the activity, and time goes by quickly until the horns sound. Yes, you hear horns, and you haven't been here very long, so you probably haven't heard them before. But it's not unlike what someone might do to call attention to the townsfolk and bring them close, like a town crier or something like that.
Yeah, I think he understands the inference. And I think that's when he would look to try to make sure his new friend, who might not be super aware of the customs, doesn't do anything that gets him into any trouble. So I think he finds him amongst the stragglers.
Mm-hmm.
Arush, good
Roll up
sir.
the scroll. Yes? Salam.
How are you?
I am interested. How are you?
Uninterested, but I do
Hmm.
believe we should go.
Interesting.
Please, we've talked about writing down everything I say. I'm
Have
not
we?
a. I think we have.
Or do you have this conversation by yourself? Because I might have zoned out.
Okay, it's fine. I do not believe too many of my words are worthy of the ink that you use, but
Oh, now
it
you
is your
say things
choice.
like that, you make me want to listen. What is this? What is this? This sadness.
Look out on the sea.
Hmm?
I said, look out on the sea.
Yes, I can see.
Look to the east. Look to the west. Look north upon the land. In every direction, all you see is gray. How could a man be happy in such a land?
This gray changes. You know this? This gray is just one state. You look under the water, you just look on the surface. What is in the gray? What is behind the gray?
I look
Look
at
over
the
here. Look at the people. You
I
see
look
their
at what the world.
attention?
The people are probably grayer than the land.
I think you are wrong.
Maybe I have been wrong many times.
You will be wrong many more. It is a part of this gray, this living. It is behind.
I, sometimes you only have so many wrongs in your life before there are no more wrongs you can do.
Yes. Is that so
Anyway,
wrong? See, I make this joke. It is
yes,
not gray.
that is. I think that is a black joke where I come from.
Mm.
My people love their humor a little dark.
Humor comes in many humors.
What? That does not make sense. You
Okay.
said a lot, but you didn't say anything.
I
You do
said a
that.
little, but I
I
said a
catch you
lot.
sometimes. You're very wise. You're very smart.
I do not think I am
You
wise.
smell good.
Do you want to
But
smell
behind
good?
all that, sometimes there's nothing there.
You very much delight me with your black humor.
Yes, and
But for this, maybe you need more sanguine.
you provide you and your many colors in your cloak provide color in my life,
Do you know what
and for
this means?
that is the service we trade, perhaps.
Oh, perhaps. I'm going to write down what he's saying to me. And I also make a little note that I don't think he sees that says, this man hides behind his words.
That's not for Halfthor. That's rude to me. That hurt me a little bit.
It only hurts if you think it is true.
Oh
Maybe
no!
something that you feel like you need to work on.
What
Can
are
they
we?
say, baby? Look at the
20
sea. All you see is gray.
Emotional damage.
To all of our UK fans who are going to be watching this, please do not take offense to us calling everything you like gray, even though it's true.
I didn't.
They literally like gray tea. They
Earl
love the
Grey.
gray.
I saw oil.
All right.
All right.
Let us proceed and see what the cacophony is about. Sorry, I keep like accidentally. I'm trying to do like a deeper, more commanding, and I accidentally am picking up what Cam is putting down. It's
I
throwing
think
me
it's
off.
great. I think it's
I hate.
hilarious.
Half-Thor is
I
a
don't.
mimic. He can't help
He's a
it.
mimic.
You
Yeah, I
just
can't help it.
He
He's-
can't help
is.
it.
He's the
I don't.
Half-Thor is
It
the
makes
girl
sense that
who
he
went.
does that, though.
Yeah, Half-Thor is the girl who went on study abroad trip and came back with an accent.
He's
Damn,
or you're
I'm
that
over
or
it.
you're that type of autistic. You
Oh,
just can't help it.
Also,
This is
again,
why he was
Works,
now
so
you'll
it's
never know.
medical
Laura.
trained.
Sarah's the only one left that needs to stop hurting me. Yeah, I just been called out.
Stop giving us ammunition.
Yes, I do
Just stop
believe.
calling me out. Just act like my parents and pretend that my neurodivergence doesn't exist. I'm sorry. Let's go back
Goodness.
to the.
Hey, this is
All
filmed,
right.
and many people in the comments are going to be like, "That man, not that character. That man needs to go to therapy."
Yeah, Anusha's just Freud.
Anyway,
And hey, how's it going, dude? Yes, follow the cacophony. Let's do it.
All right.
Let us see what this is about.
Very good. Today is a bright, sunny day with just a bit of chill in the air. The town's
Sunny.
residents and visitors have been summoned with horns and criers to a gathering in the town square. On a wooden stand in the middle of the square stands Count Robert. Standing by him is Pagan, Robert's right hand, and the commander of the peacekeeping forces in Hastings. Several of his men stand with him. Next to the Count, looking vaguely sheepish, is Edmund, technically still the mayor of the town, but now no more than a figurehead, a casual nod at the idea of self-governance. The crowd is murmuring sort of uneasily until they are finally quieted by another blow of the horn. At that point, Robert clears his throat and begins to speak. People of Hastings, I come to tell you, we have received word that Harold the Pretender is on his way with an army. In the name of the Lord we will face this force and defeat it for the sake of the true heir, William. I swear to you we will not. But here he is cut off as a bright light and a tremendous sound race through the atmosphere above. The light is enough to make the crowd squint and cover their eyes, and the noise is a painful booming beyond any sound you've ever heard. Faster than the time it takes to say it, a star falls overhead and makes landfall just outside of the town. The majority of townsfolk are overwhelmed and very much frightened by this happening. Some of them are covertly making signs to ward against deviltry, while others are blatantly leaving the square in the opposite direction. Through the ringing of your ears, you can hear Robert speaking at the top of his lungs. A sign! The Lord has sent us a sign of our impending victory and the justness of our cause. Come, pagan, let us look upon the work of our God. And so the Count and his men, along with some of the more curious or daring in the square, go to see the falling star. You three are among them.
Yes. Absolutely, instantly have written everything down and then follow behind everything.
Yeah,
Like this is the fastest he's ever moved.
Yeah, Half-Thor says immediately like pulls his previously hidden, or is at least holding on to his axe, and turns to Anush and says, "Brother, Ragnarok is upon us. Sweet relief.
No.
Let us run."
And I just keep. I don't even. No.
Do you need
No,
do you need a weapon?
No. This
You
is
will not enter Valhalla if you do not die with the weapon in your hand. I have.
I show him my pen.
What? What is this? This is again. You say nothing. You stand in front of me and you say nothing. Let us proceed. Let's go. Let's go.
Ida ducks into some kind of corner because to like pull like some kind of like she keeps like a hat or something to like be able to somewhat disguise herself so she doesn't look like a young woman
Ooh.
Mhm.
because she's like nah, not missing this one, and yeah, so she does that to like obscure herself a little bit before she follows
Yes,
along
queen.
and
Marvelous.
blends in with the crowd, whatever crowd it is.
Awesome.
Can I do a what is it? What's the perceive? Is it right? I'm trying to look at the skills
Do you mean
list.
notice?
A notice. Sorry, a notice check to see if I see Ida.
Sure.
Don't perceive me, senpai.
We are at a plus because it's not on my. Oh, it is +3, which is a good.
Can I roll stealth to counter this?
Um, you can. You can roll stealth or deceive to counter this, since you're in disguise.
I'm gonna do stealth because I have better stealth than I have better deception. Hell yeah. I start stealth at a good, and I got a +3, so that gets me up
Nice.
to
Fantastic.
fantastic. Yeah.
You do not find Ida.
Yeah,
Ida
I think
is too
Hathor would
concealed.
be. Yeah, I think Hathor is just looking around. I think it wasn't specifically looking for Ida, right? But he's just looking around to see who's also running towards their end
Hmm.
in his mind.
Awesome. Okay, so it's a short trek through the northern side of town, past the well, through the outskirts, and finally to a smoking divot in the ground, as though God himself had set a plow to the field there. Within this hole, glowing bright orange, is a sphere about the size of a human head. Now, this is the moment that you will look back on as one that changed your lives forever. The small group of people here will become a defining fact of your existence soon enough, so I'm going to go through a list of the people that are here for you. There is Mayor Edmund, Mayor of Hastings, uh, Robert, the Count of Eu, Pagan, the leader of the Norman bullies who keep the peace in Hastings, three of Pagan's men, Philomore, Rouland, and Askelin.
Oh, love that name.
There's Meerwine, daughter of Wilfrith the Shipwright, Serdic, a journeyman blacksmith. There's
Wait, sorry. What
Hild,
was that? What was that for that last one?
Serdic, a journeyman
Sure.
blacksmith. Hild, the local washerwoman. Otto, a Norwegian trader. Leofstan, a farmer. And Weirmund, a child, the son of Osbert the miller.
Can you spell that last one?
Weirmund, Waermund. It's that whole AE thing. That
Yeah, yeah.
Vietnam.
Son of a farmer, right?
yes, son of the miller.
Miller. Sorry. Oh, the Miller's son. Ooh, are we gonna get into some Chaucer Chaucer tales? Sorry, it's a bad.
Never apologize for
uh,
Chaucer.
One that April with his sure thought of the drop of March hath pierced to the roll. Yeah. Um. Okay. So that is the list.
The world's oldest recorded fart jokes.
As you all stand there, sort of staring, the orange glow begins to dim. Serdic, the journeyman blacksmith, reaches out his hand as though to tell this wonder from the heavens not to disappear, and to his and everyone else's shock, the hand is suddenly wreathed in flames. He screams and shakes his hand, but the flame doesn't go out. Neither, however, does the flame spread, nor does it consume his flesh. In that bewildering moment, another strange and frightening thing occurs. Mirwine's skin, indeed her entire body, hair, and clothes and all, turn transparent. She looks frightened but makes no sound, and a moment later she collapses, not as a person, but as a human-sized splash of water that crashes to the ground and is swiftly absorbed into the dirt. And at this point, I'm going to ask each of you to make a notice roll.
She's Alex Mack, you guys. Oh, I'm not noticing shit. I got a pour.
Okay.
I got a mediocre.
Okay.
You're muted, David.
I will raise you a pour and see if you can match my terrible.
We're just
Halfdoor.
not good.
Halfdoor is just like, this is clearly Surtur's helm, and that man turned to fire after he touched it. This is Surtur coming to destroy the world.
All right.
Actually, can I use one of my fate points? And I want to use my aspect, a Persian polymath, and I want to try to like deduce what is happening here.
All right.
I'm going to try to just re-roll completely.
Okay.
Science.
That's a lot better. That's a great.
Okay. All right. So, with a great, when Pagan starts moving, you can tell that he is moving towards Serdic, and you can see the way his hand tenses. He is about to reach for the arming sword at his hip. There we go. The rest of you don't know shit. You probably don't even notice that.
I think Ida and Halfthor are both like, it's the apocalypse, we're all gonna die.
Yeah,
Like,
Halfdoor is just blissfully embracing
religious terror right now.
his oblivion.
But so he's just like about to draw his sword. That's all I notice.
He is going towards Serdic. He is definitely about to draw his sword. No one else is paying enough attention.
I run towards the orb, and I'm going to just shout, "No, no, 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 no!"
I think Halfdoor was standing like this, which is why he had a terrible. This is truly like, there's no Lara just said religious terror. This is religious bliss. This is an evangelical Christian is like, oh, the rapture happened. Everybody else's terror is my joy. And when he hears Anoush, will open his eyes, and I think, man, what would he do? What do I see Anoush trying to do? Is he gonna going towards?
I like put my hands out, like I want to try to get in front of him, and I want to the man who's drawing the sword. I like put my hands out and I say, no, look, I know it is the name of your town, yes, but it is not appropriate to be so hasty. Yes, put the sword away before we know what is happening.
At this point,
This is not the first time I have known about these things. I come here for this reason. It is not something to be scared of.
So at this point, I see the guy has his weapon out, right?
He does not. He has his hand on his weapon.
Okay, so then Halfdoor, feeling very protective of Anoush, will just be at the ready.
Okay.
In case.
Anoush, go ahead and give me a rapport roll.
Of course. Terrible.
Nothing.
Oh dear.
You made a joke about the name of our town. We did not get it.
Yeah,
None of us got it.
You're a brown foreigner making a joke
And I've just said I came here for this magic ball, so
Yeah,
makes
you
sense.
you just started the Crusades. You're
I'm
the
backing away. I want to
Early.
I am also
So
like
early.
trying to
yeah
like
yeah yeah.
grab the ball. I'm like as I'm doing this, I'm backing away, and I like want to like try to put the ball in one of my bags as I'm talking to him.
Okay.
So that probably helps with the terrible.
Right. So you have not made a good impression on Pagan, and his sword is coming out of its sheath.
No, 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 no. Hey, it is okay. I put the it. It's safe now. Yes.
At this point, I would like to interpose myself um, between me and Anush, and would say something to Pagan like, "You should put the sword away. Uh, no one needs to get hurt over this."
You also will get a rapport roll for that.
Let's see if I can get something more than 2 negatives.
I cannot help you.
Hey! I got 3, but I don't have anything on this, I think. I don't think it's one of my skills. Halfdoor's not like a cool guy.
Apparently, neither am I.
Yeah.
That's still
Yeah.
a good.
Yeah, it's still good though. So
All right. So good is enough to make him hesitate, which is long enough for um, someone else to make a move. And Robert, who is in charge of Pagan, sort of stands forward. Who are you looking at, Hathor?
I'm so if I see Robert step forward,
Yes.
then I for sure look straight to Robert. I know enough about pecking orders that if Robert's stepping forward, Pagan's not going to do shit
Hmm.
until Daddy says so. And I like purposefully will look past him, like disrespectfully.
Okay.
We can learn much off of this celestial object if we just take time and are not too hasty. Don't you want to learn? Yes? It could help in gain you power. Is that what you want?
Uh, the washerwoman, Hild, speaks up, says, "You should listen to this man. He's speaking sense."
Thank you.
And um, when she does that, uh, Hathor, go ahead and give me another notice roll.
Uh, the fate system just does not really like me. I got a +1 plus my so a mediocre. At least this time it was a mediocre because this is I have a +1 to this.
Okay. So yeah, you don't notice anything in particular. Um,
Swap these dice out.
Um, I'm sitting back and like watching everything go down.
hmm.
Is there anything I can roll to try to notice something, or
That was specifically
just for okay, got it.
for,
Someone's about to shank me.
so when she speaks up, um, Robert turns to her, looking as though, why are these peasants speaking to me? But Pagan is very affected. He stops, and just immediately his sword is resting in his sheath. His hand is off. Um, he's looking at Serdic, whose uh, hand is now no longer on fire, but there's still smoke coming from it. Um, and he says, "But is witchcraft?" Robert says, "We can bring him in We don't need
It
to
is not
be in.
witchcraft. It is a gift from your god, from the heavens. Yes?
You can see him calculating.
When
It's,
your
it's
god burnt the bush and he talked to the prophet. This was good, no? Maybe we all have been divinely touched. I look at Robert. What do you think?
I think that it's worth looking at. You have the object?
Yes.
Good. Bring it. Pagan, bring the boy.
But before I do anything, what do you want to do with it?
We shall bring it to our lord, the future king.
I run away.
All right. Make an athletics roll.
Stupid boy.
Is that TikTok sound? Run. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's a good.
All right.
It's pretty good.
Let's see how Pagan does at catching you.
Can I help by his athletics roll by trying to slow down Pagan?
Yes. So that'll make it a
It's a
great.
great.
Because I have a good a good in athletics. So I will
And
just kind of try to trip him.
can I also do something? I want to burn another fate point if that's cool.
Okay.
I want to.
Yeah.
I want to scan the crowd and I want to see if I can see Etta and try to get her to do something and burn. If I do see her, use my aspect that it was kind to me when it mattered.
Okay. So you can also roll a notice to look for Ida.
Okay.
I'm not going to try to hide. I'm just wearing a hat.
That's a great.
Okay. And you're not trying to hide. So
No, I think Ida is literally just like wide-eyed and looks has a very similar look on her face as when she first saw Anush, which is just this wonder of like, what is this thing?
all right. So with great, you do spot Ida, and you spy something interesting. Ida's looking shocked and surprised, and she's looking like more shocked and surprised than a person should be able to look. Like her mouth is open wider than it should be. Her eyes are wider than they should be. It's very strange and a little off-putting.
I clock that
It's my vibe.
and I think I shout to her, Ida, you're here. Help! And I get fantastic on the. I add two, and I get fantastic.
I think that would jolt her, and she doesn't know what's happening on her face, obviously, but I think that honestly, I was thinking about this. I think her first reaction would be like, what would be the most helpful thing? And it would be the priest. So I think she's spent time studying the head of this church in her town. I think she turns into the priest.
Yeah, I think Halfdor will also yell because he probably would. I think on the off chance that people were called because something that had to do with him, and he was maybe walking into a bad situation, he would have kept Oof, not his loyal man,
Hmm.
not the Earl's man. He would have told Oof to stay at the ship, and I think he would shout behind him after trapping Pagan to Anush and say that, "Find my ship. Oof will help you." And I
Oof will
think,
help.
yeah, and Halfthor just thinks he's probably not going to make it out of this with Pagan and maybe Robert, and if any other men come soon.
I shout behind me, "You have been very kind. I hope to see you again."
To be clear, Halfthor wants to make it out. He just knows he's trying to make time for these guys and then maybe run himself. But if anybody else, he's essentially like, if anybody else joins, I'm fucked. If anybody else joins Pagan, let's see how unhappy these people are.
All right. So things are rapidly devolving. Anush, you have made it out of the crowd and are dashing away. Pagan was tripped up. His 3 men were confused, and now they start taking off through the crowd to follow. And Ida, you look like the priest now. You look like Father Wulfric. Um, do you,
Uh,
are you doing anything?
I think somebody might be like, "Father?" Like, and so
Yeah.
she's like, "Stop everything. Stop." Like in her best impression of this terrifying priest that absolutely scares the shit out of her. Uh and like, your god demands it, and try to get everybody to shut up and stop.
All right. So let's do the deceive roll to see if people believe it's you. And with your power, you have plus
Can I
4
can
to
I
that.
help? I was previously trying to wrestle with Pagan,
Mhm.
non-lethal. Can I help her deceive?
I sure don't fucking need it.
It
I
will
just
help.
got +4
Now you have
to a
+5
+4.
because I dropped my
Okay.
weapons and I to whatever. Let's just.
Okay, if I get a +5, I'm above the ladder. So I'm above legendary.
That's what we need so that Halfthor doesn't die on episode 1.
Everyone is shocked and stunned. Several people go down on their knees. And let me do a quick empathy roll for Robert.
Yeah, Halfthor is definitely on one knee, being like, I never thought the Christian God would save me, but here I am.
So about half of the group goes down on their knee. Robert does not. Pagan is standing staring at Robert like, what do I do? What do I do? And Pagan's 3 men are just sort of standing, trying to figure out what Pagan wants them to do, what Robert wants them to do, what won't get them excommunicated, that sort of thing.
I
And so
talked to
it's
the
sort of a
Pope.
standoff.
It's happening. I'm writing a letter to Papa.
Calling the Pope Papa feels like
Hey,
yellow
that's
zone.
what
But
what he's
I
called.
know. It's true. I didn't say I don't like it.
It's Italian.
Papa.
Papa,
Papa Nicola.
bless me.
Papa, I have sinned. I have sinned many. I put the olive oil in the pasta water.
That
Okay.
is actually a punishable
I know
offense.
it's a
Yes.
sin. It's
You
a
are
sin.
excommunicated.
Episode 1, offending Italians.
That is
and Catholics.
that is
No
absolutely
one
going
is
to
safe.
be a content warning. Is
I play
Content no, not about the Catholics. It's about the pasta water with olive oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Italians.
I play an Italian halfling that scares the shit out of Lara.
Yeah. He's awful. Anyway.
Kill him.
Anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
so it's sort of a standoff at the moment, and Robert is turning to you, Ida, and he bows and says, "Father, what do you wish of us?"
Go back to your camps, report to the king, to your king. I don't know how she's like she's trying not to stumble about that. She's trying to be as like whatever as he is. I will find the boy. This is obviously a sign from God. This is a holy relic. I will find it.
All right, give me I don't know what emotion you're aiming for. So you're going to give me either a rapport or a provoke roll for that.
Not good at either. So
Could I make a case for deceive? She's a totally different person lying about what she's gonna do.
I'm Papa.
Papa? Is she though? Is she really Papa? Or is she deceiving them?
I will
Laura
take into account the amazing roll of deception. So
Faux daddy.
he fully believes that she is
Okay.
the
So
father.
then I think it's going to be provoke because I feel like that's how the church does their thing right now is they just scare the shit out of poor people. So we're going to do provoke. Doesn't matter either way.
It's already there.
It's already there. Okay. I mean, it's fair. So
Can I use this hustle and bustle to try to sneak away?
You
This
sure
moment.
can if you want to roll me stealth.
Yeah. This is an actual skill. God, this system fucking hates me. Oof, man.
it's just fate.
Yeah, fate
It
is poor.
system,
I'm a poor. I rolled 3 negatives, but luckily I have a +2, so it's only a poor.
All right, let me.
I was
make
almost
sure
off
they
the
don't
charts
do
in the other
parallel.
direction.
Oh, I also rolled really badly, so you are in luck. Yeah. So that was for Robert, but Pagan also might try to grab you. So let me roll for Pagan. No, I'm just rolling terribly. So you actually sneak away.
This is totally that like bear situation, right? You don't got to be faster than a bear. You just got to be faster than the person next to you. I don't got to roll good. I just got to roll better than Sera.
Yep. Yes, you do. So you have gotten away, and Robert is standing, looking at Father Wolfric, and saying, "I must do my due diligence for my Lord King. I will send Pagan with you to help you look."
If you must. Totally disdainful of like, you're below me, so whatever.
All right. Go ahead and do an empathy roll real quick. Just
Okay.
you.
I'm not empathetic either. Okay. Not good. Poor.
Oh yeah, he totally has no problem with obeying you. So he tells Pagan
Witch!
to
He's a
come with
witch! He's pagan! That's in the name!
They're
He
gonna
tells Pagan
die
to
in
go with
those
you,
woods.
and he does have his other men grab Serdic, whose hands are now completely smoke-free, to take him to the castle with them to be judged in case he is a witch. And he orders the crowd to disperse and leaves with his men and with Serdic.
Okay. And I saw the direction Anoush ran.
Yeah.
I think I just do my best like flip. He's got such flowy robes. Like Ida's kind of enjoying this. Just like I'm so dramatic. Like she never gets to be this way, so this is very funny for her now.
What are
Uh
you thinking about um, the fact that you're able to do this?
um it's a giddiness. Like it's it does feel like something from God. Like it is that religious euphoria of like this is a gift. This is something special. This is finally like I prayed for this. I prayed for something and this is made it happen. Like this so she she just it's only good right now. Like it is like any negative feelings have not even begun, like the repercussions have not begun to even enter her mind yet. She's
Hmm.
just like, and it's also the, the feeling of a woman being in a man's body, which feels different, I would imagine. So there's that too, and she's like, this is weird. I'm okay with it though. It's strange but fun. Like she's like there's this childlike wonder that's behind everything that she is trying to keep down because she's trying to be scary too. So
Right.
she's like play acting, and I think this is actually something that she's kind of harkening back to when she was little, like when she was a little child, where she and her brother would play in the woods and like play pretend and have dreams. So she's like got this like play acting thing happening that she forgot that she was like as a kid. So it's very childlike right now.
Delightful.
Yeah.
So Pagan is standing by you,
Hmm.
looking to you for direction. He seems, you know, Pagan, not like on a first name basis or anything, but he is in charge of the bullies that are in charge of the town at this point. Um, and he is not a pleasant fellow, um, but he is being as pleasant as he can to you.
Ida would look to him and say, he's a stranger who doesn't know our land or our town. He would probably run into the woods. I would I want to go to the church to get people involved there, but most likely he ran into the dark woods. So maybe you could go into the woods to find or and take if you've is it just him? It's just him, right?
It's just him.
Okay. So she'd be like, you should check the woods. You are more equipped for what might be in there than I am. I am but a man of God.
Okay, hold on. Oh,
You are.
um, hmm?
I was gonna say you are but a man of God.
I am
Excuse
I
me,
am but a man of God. I have no weaponry
but
but the
but
word of my
it's the
God.
only weapon you need. Praise.
uh,
Nah.
The Count told me to stick with you. I'm sticking with you.
Okay, but I'm gonna go to I'm gonna go into the town. And she just very purposefully, as she always, if she ever sees uh Father Wolfric walking, he's always looking straight ahead, walking with purpose and ignoring everybody else. So she just gets that. She gets that, and she's actually gonna go towards the um probably the square, or she's going to try to find a place that's populated, that's more densely populated, where there's more people. Now that everything's happened, do you think, I know people were running away from everything, but do you think that the square would still be full of people, especially now that things have calmed?
There are still people in the square for sure. It's not full of people, but it's at a normal level. The people here, however, are not um, looking normal. They are obviously feeling very concerned about what's going on, um, and they're trying to get rumors. Like they're like gossiping to each other, even though none of them know what's going on. Um,
I would like to try, and because I know I know Ida knows that she thought of the father and was suddenly the father. That's all
mhm.
she knows right now. So she is trying to find a place where there is a little bit of chaos to get lost and change. And but she wants to do it in a crowd of people.
Okay,
Um so can I that's so I guess I'm like trying to go into a thing, and I could be like, have you seen this met, like she's gonna go into like crowd and be like, have you, and like describing like Anoush, but not, I mean, like, there's no way to describe Anoush and not be describing Anoush because he's the only brown person that's in this town.
right.
So it's like, there's no other. Have you ever seen the other mystical, in Saracen man? No? Only the one? Okay. Um, but, so I guess, can I roll, how do you want me to do this? You want me to roll, can I roll stealth?
I think stealth is the most appropriate. Yes,
Okay.
to get yourself lost.
To get myself lost. And I want to change into, like, like a child or something. Some children are so rarely noticed.
Fair. All right, let's see if you can ditch pagan.
I got a fair.
All right, pagan's notice. Ah, uh, you do not ditch him. You turn and you think that you've lost him, but there he is, right behind you, smiling.
Um, I would like to. Okay, does he do anything, or is he just standing there smiling?
He's just smiling at you. He didn't even really notice that you were trying to hide. Honestly,
Okay,
um,
but
he's just sort of
he's seen me change.
following you.
Um, I want to. Okay, so I have talked to Halfthor.
Yeah,
I've seen him. Okay.
correct.
I would like to turn into Halfthor and swing around and punch him.
What a
Yeah, we're
move!
going.
Straight in the
What a
face.
move!
This is the first episode.
I would just also a little peek behind the scenes, viewers. We talked about this campaign, and Laura specifically was like, "I don't really care about battles. I don't really care about the
Listen,
political. I just want to like do our thing."
hey, I said
And is
personal.
literally already
Yeah.
impersonated a priest and is fighting the law.
To be fair, they didn't start it.
I didn't. I do what
Ida
I
didn't
gotta.
start
I
the
see big strong.
fire.
I see big strong man. I see big strong man needs to punch guy. I'm gonna become big strong man punch guy.
Big strong man punch guy.
So
All
yeah.
right. Yes. So, unfortunately, changing into him does not give you his strength.
Damn.
But
I was
let's
gonna
go
like.
ahead
Come on.
and
That'd be cool. That'd be
you
cool.
can roll the first fight roll of the game.
Yay! I mean, a fight roll is at least on my board, so like that's
Oh,
something.
that's nice. Not mine.
It is a good.
Is
Is at
it
the
good?
bottom of
Well,
my.
let's.
He's good.
Uh, okay. So you throw the punch. Pagan looks absolutely shocked, but backs away so that your punch does not land. And he says, "The fuck you do with the priest?"
Where-
I thought you're fucked.
I'm so fucked.
We're all the priest, and then I run.
You're all the priest.
This is okay. Where? Oh my god!
She's
What a
having.
move.
She is in a dreamland right now. She gets to say everything she's ever wanted to say or do. She
There's
is
no judgment there.
Priest.
There's
so
no
happy.
judgment. Just admiration. Just admiration. Where?
They're all
Where?
Negan.
Where? Did,
All
where
right.
did we?
So
Where was this? You're. Oh no, you're in the square, right?
I'm
Not
in the
hall.
square.
the square.
Is the square where the hall is though?
The hall is very close to the square. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Half-Thor, you just see yourself. Just
Well,
like.
yeah, because Halfdor was trying to had a similar idea, right? He was actually trying. He turned his fur coat because he's also the only person with a fur lined. Like he's not quite as standout as Anush. Like there apparently are some Norwegians in town, right? So they probably
Yeah.
are close enough. But he was going there to try to. He went to the hall to try to steal someone's like outer cloak to cover his. And I think maybe if you're okay with this, as he exits the hall, maybe sees himself run.
Yes. Running
Yelling,
from
we're all
Pagan.
the priest.
Yelling, "We're all the priest."
We're all a
In your voice.
In your voice,
Oh.
yeah, with a weird Danish accent that
Yeah,
feels weird in my mouth. I don't like it.
that's yeah. Oh man, and then I see also Pagan running behind.
Yes, Pagan is definitely making chase.
Okay, where are you running to, Ida?
I heard you probably yell about the boat.
Yeah, well, I didn't say the boat. I said oof. So if you come to the boat, you've met him. I would have
Yeah.
introduced you when I showed you the goods.
Yeah.
He would have been there. He's always on the boat. He never
Can't
gets
say
to
it
leave.
like that, David.
What?
He shared his
Can't
goods.
say when you. Yeah, no.
Well, all right.
Scooter,
Calm it down there,
good.
Cameron.
She's a child. I'm calm.
Listen,
I'm
I
calm.
am
I'm not the one
I am
showing her the
older than I
goods.
look. Also, I'm apparently Half-Thor. This is
And
Yeah.
weird.
Papa.
Halfdor gets
You cannot.
one.
You showed the priest your goods.
No, it's the priest who showed everybody else.
Well,
their
we're
goods.
all the priests, so
We're all
We
the
are
priests.
all the priests.
We are the
I think-
world.
Yeah, so if he sees himself running towards the docks, he is only reinforced in his thought that this is Ragnarok because he's like, it's Loki. Loki is here, turning into people. Like oblivion is on the horizon. We're almost there.
Okay.
And I think he's gonna try to he's trying to think of a very quick way he could stop Pagan from afar without making himself known. He wants to trip him, slow him down, knock him out some way, and he's gonna sit and concentrate about it a little bit, and maybe use his like force of will
Yeah.
to try to attack Pagan.
Yes, as you're thinking of that, it will. Your will reaches out of your body, and you can make a will attack.
Yes. +2 to a great makes it
Mm,
a fantastic.
fantastic. All right. And I'm not even going to give him a roll to resist this, because he has no clue that it's coming. So I am just going to. Sorry, I'm checking his stats.
Why did that
Yeah,
Dane? Why did that Dane yell, "We're all the priest" at me? He's just like flummoxed.
we're all the priest. So he is taken aback and taken off of his feet immediately by your unsuspecting mental attack.
I think Halfthor is first very surprised that essentially his thought process of what can I do manifested into something that happened. And I don't know if he understands quite yet and has made that connection, but he sees the opening. And I want to like go around, so I guess roll like a
Sure.
stealth or something. I want to go
Yeah.
unnoticed
Absolutely.
to try to intercept my doppelganger. Ooh, well,
Or like, can I give him a
pluses.
help action because another of him is running around?
Well, it's just a 0, so it's it's an average.
Okay. Pagan's not going to be able to. He's on the ground.
Yeah, and I
confused.
figure I'm like across the way a little bit, so I guess as long as it didn't get terrible or something, right?
So yeah, average is enough for that.
And then so I would like to intercept Ida and say, and maybe actually I think I would be like try to grab them, like not like aggressively, but like too aggressively because they're maybe a little scared, but just like and like pull them into like a not an alley because alleys don't necessarily exist, but
No,
like
no, no.
behind a building or something like that, a little more out of the way.
Out of the way. I do think that seeing Halfthor as Halfthor would shock her out of like the adrenaline, and suddenly, just all of a sudden, Ida's in your hands, and she's just like,
Oh, what the fuck! Oh, oh man, what would I do? What would Halfthor do? If
What
somebody,
would Halfthor
sorry,
do?
if somebody just
WWHD.
WHD.
what would
If a
Halfthor
person
do?
turned into themselves turned into someone else, Odin's beard. Where? Who the? What?
Sorry,
We don't
I
have
just
time. Let's go.
no.
Let's go to the
Yeah.
Let's go to the ship. Let's go to the ship.
Okay. Sorry, you just look really strong. You look really strong.
It's mostly aesthetic. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
And he probably takes the big cloak he's wearing and throws it over, unless you're wearing one of the hood or something.
Yeah, and she she can.
He's got a hat, remember?
I got a hat.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
I'm a
then.
dude.
And then I think looking out for what was the name of the other guy, the Earl's man who was accompanying me on this trip? Not Oof, the other guy.
Did we give him a name? Did not.
I don't think we.
Dickhead.
Earl
Dick.
Dickhead.
It could be Dick.
Earl Dick. Early Dickhead.
Ditch.
Ditch.
D-I-C-H.
Ditch.
It's a true Norman
Like
name.
James.
James Ditch.
Alfred.
Alfred's a pretty Norman name, yeah.
All right, Alfred it is.
Alfred. I think he's like looking out for Alfred to see if he's coming back. Because Halfdoor's mind is like, we're fucking leaving right now. I gotta get the fuck out of here. And if Alfred's not around, then I'm leaving his ass.
Alfred and Ulf are both on the boat. Speaking of which, is that where you're headed?
Yeah, I'm heading towards the port, yeah.
Yes, I am, but I'm real not athletic.
Oh, and then I guess he would ask Ida, have you seen Anush?
No, that's where I was going. I heard I heard you say something about Ulf, and so I know that he's always on the boat. That's the thing that you told me very specifically, which was weird, and now I'm really appreciating that information. So that's where I
Well,
was
you were
going.
supposed to sell some of my toys, which have
Listen,
not
I
been sold.
tried. I tried. They didn't understand why I was selling cats, okay?
No, yeah, I get it. They're bad.
Or
They're really bad.
horses, or
All right,
like
go.
horse had too many legs, man. Okay, anyway, let's go.
No, it's supposed to be Loki, like you.
I don't.
Um, okay, go to the boat, find Oof. I will try to find Anush and bring him there. Um, fuck Odin's beard. All
Can you
right.
do that?
What do you want to do
Anyway,
with
no, I
Odin's
won't
beard?
ask. Okay, sorry. I have so
Oh,
many
what's
questions
I
Odin's
now.
think
beard?
I think you can find out now yourself. Uh, I it's
Hashtag turns into a god.
and then yeah, I will tell you to go find Oof. Oof will help you, and then I'm gonna go try to find Anush and usher him
All
Cool.
right.
to the boat.
Okay. So Ida heads to the boat. Hafthor is looking for Anush. Speaking of Anush, Anush, you are wheezing your way towards the docks.
Hey, if you had my fish pies, you would be okay.
And Pagan, who was previously tripped up in the square and now is looking throughout the town for um, the priest, runs into you.
Oh, salam and good evening.
Oh, fuck me! Get him! All right, and he jumps on you.
Okay.
And if you want to make an athletics roll to avoid his grapple, you may.
Oh, you got it. You got it, dog. That's average.
Ah, you are grabbed.
No. Oh, why
Uh,
did you grab me? Who are you?
Shut up or I'll knock you around the head.
I don't know you. I am new in town. My name is Alibaba.
Racist.
That's not racist. That's a famous person to him.
No one knows that. We're not from here.
Yeah, so you don't know it's
What
racist
nonsense are
either.
you talking about?
That's
All right,
funny.
he literally hits you over the head to try and get you to
Oh,
shut up.
you have the wrong person. What? You just go around tackling different people in your town?
Hafthor, that is how you find Anush screaming in the grasp of Pagan, who is very deftly uh, moving him towards the castle.
I would like to fight him
Okay.
by running and like sort of tackling him
All right.
into the ground. So I will roll a fight roll.
Yeah, fight
Could
roll.
he get help because he previously has already done this?
Ooh, do not need it. I got +3 first really great roll to a already good, which will 1, 2, 3, which is a +6, is a fantastic.
Nice. Let's see his athletics. Oh, not nearly that good. You succeed with style, so you can take him down any way you want.
Yeah, so I want to like tackle him, preferably from like the side slash back,
Hmm.
because I would imagine he's like sort of he's got a noosh by like the arm or something, right?
Hmm.
Um, and so like in that, I want to like kind of separate his grasp on a noosh
Okay.
and tackle him into the ground, um, in a more like painful way, and then roll another fight to try to like knock him out with like the butt of the axe,
Okay.
non-lethal
All right.
specifically. I want to just like knock him out. Okay, +1, 2, great.
Okay. So you slam the axe down, and it ends up hitting the ground because he moves his head aside fast. He then reaches for your tunic grabs it and shoves you off of him. He's going to make a physique roll, which you can oppose with your own physique.
Okay. What is my physique? Oof. Oops. Damn it. That is not good. It's average.
All
It's
right.
specifically not good.
He lifts you off of him like you are a child's toy and tosses you away. This man is just demonstrating strength that you have never seen.
Yeah, so not just like 2 or 3 feet. Like I went a while.
Yes, you are
Okay.
tossed to the side.
Do I
Can
take any
I?
stress or anything?
No, we're not going to give you any stress for just landing on the.
Okay.
Could I use? Could I do something wild and look through my pack and like find some like spices, like either like chili or like cinnamon, and blow them in his eyes,
Yeah.
trying to use a resource that I have.
Okay. All right. You could do that.
Dope. Thank you. And I would love to burn my last fate point and use far from home and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get a great.
All right. He screams as your potent blend of spices hits his eyes.
Run! And I run.
Yeah. I think Halfdor, feeling a sort of supernatural power, is smart enough to not run to death, right? Essentially, and will try to. I don't think he's gonna try to. I think he's never seen Anoush move faster than a glacial pace. So I would like to roll a. I think it would be either. I think it would be like athletics, to pick him up and get to the boat.
Absolutely, you can do that with athletics
Okay.
because Anoush isn't. He's a wiry little guy.
Now
Scrawny little
there's
man.
there's the good roll. +2 to a good is a superb.
Nice. All you needed was a good for that. So you
I'm
are.
just I'm jogging and you just come by and pick me up mid run and
Yeah,
run so much faster.
just
And
like
I'm like still running in
total
the
over
air.
the shoulder.
Ah!
Yeah, Halfdor is like carried many wood logs. And
They call this a fireman's carry. I don't know why men of fire would carry this way, but
Ayúdame, Frit.
We've already
yeah,
seen
and
someone on
I
fire today, and it was not you.
no,
Oh God.
and then I will, as fast as I can, um, try to get to the boat.
All right. Uh, so yeah, you hear Hathor. Sorry, Hathor. You hear Pagan screaming for you to stop, but you do not stop, and you quickly leave him behind. Um, whether he knows where you're going or how to follow you is another story. But you make
On
it to
my
the boat.
way out, I
Hmm.
want to again think. I want to try to tap in what I tapped into earlier, right? Not really
Hmm.
having a name for it yet, but thinking like I need him slowed down again. I need it like I need to knock him back again. And can I roll a will? To tap in?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.
Can I help you with that? I want to
I
just
don't
like kind
think
of
so. This
whisper.
is my power. I am Professor
Oh.
X.
Oh, you mean knock it back. Got it. I understand.
Woo! 3 pluses to a great is so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 epic.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Once
You
again,
need
he's
my
not
help.
even expecting this, so he's not going to get a uh, dodge roll. So you absolutely sort of crush him into the ground, and he's going to take 2 stress from that. Actually, okay. But more importantly, he's slowed down a lot by this.
Yeah, that's predominant. I don't think he was Halfdoor's thought was like death or kill him or like even necessarily hurt him. It was like knock him back as far as possible to create both knock him on the ground and create more distance so I could get to the boat because it is small, right? And there's probably only like 2 ropes, right? So it's just gonna be a quick, and we're out.
All right.
How did you do that?
Pagan's having a no good, very bad day.
Bad day.
Yeah. How did I do what? Because I don't think well, I guess I could roll a notice to see if he like noticed. Because I don't think he's looking back. He's just running.
I'm very much like
yeah, because you're over my shoulder,
like,
so you're seeing the back. Yeah, you're like the little kid in the back of a those old station wagons where the seat faces
suicide seat.
Yeah.
It is. It is like you picked him up and you made him fly through the sky.
I don't know. I needed him far away.
I felt you tense, and then he moved through the sky.
My friend, you will feel me tense when you feel me tense. That is not me tense.
I do not understand.
It's okay. And he's just huffing, just really full, like desperate child trying to outrun a dog that got out of the gate. To a whole, 800 feet or whatever this tiny town of Hastings is.
Right. Yeah, you make it to the boat and untie it, and your crew are a bit confused.
Yeah, exactly. I would imagine Ida probably told Oof to make preparations.
Mm-hmm.
And so as soon as we were on, and then I think like because we came down the coast, right down the western coast, I would, if I could roll like some sort of mental check. Let me see what I got. Lore. Would it be lore or something?
What are you trying to do?
Remember, oh, there's like a nice outcropping 5 or 10 miles or something like.
Can I help by saying, well, actually, this is, if you go around this way, it is probably faster.
Just trying to find like a wood.
Also help because I am the fisherman's daughter.
Yeah.
We all got lore, baby.
Would it be lore?
Yeah, let's go with lore.
Can I burn I'll burn a fate point because I don't have lore, but I have an aspect.
Well, yeah, okay. I think if we're talking, well, then let's run this, right? I would be like, remember where we stopped the day before we pulled in? There's a glade not too far, and I think like Ida would be like, that's probably not a good spot, and you could like butt in and be like, and you could just do the roll, and we could help you.
Well, I just want to make sure that like. So for fate rules, normally you can only help if you have that thing on as average or above. I don't have lore, but can I burn a fate point instead?
Yes, and use the aspect. Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah.
Use the townie aspect.
No, I'm a fisherman's daughter, so I know boats.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
She boat people.
I'm boat people.
Woo! Let's see if we could show it. All pluses.
Yay!
Oh, hell yeah, dog.
Yeah, I got my ass whooped by Pagan, but when it comes to mental stats, apparently Fate's okay with me.
That's our party, I think. Yeah. I don't think we're good enough fight.
Yeah, we're soft boys and girls.
Hey, listen, I'm good at being confusing as hell.
Indoor kids, for sure. So that's 4 plus. You gave a +2, Ida?
Is that how? Yeah, +2.
That's how that works. Yeah.
And then Anush gave me a +1, so that's 7 plus another 2. We're off the charts.
Yeah,
past legendary,
celestial, even.
Yeah, just to find the absolute best place.
Papa.
Yeah.
Can it be divine?
Perfect.
Yeah. Could it be Haley's child?
Papa.
You find the perfect spot to nestle the boat while you recover your senses and talk to each other about what's going on.
Okay.
Mm,
Um.
what was that?
Oh,
I didn't expect anything like that.
What what was that? What was that? What is it? You still have it, right?
yes.
Yes.
Bring it out.
I hastily take it out of my bag.
All right,
I
and
have.
it's just a ball of smooth iron, and it's absolutely spherical.
Is it like spherical in that mechanical way? In that a way that like no one here would have seen anything so perfectly round
You
metalwork,
make a
right?
you make a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, that is beyond what you could imagine someone making.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks like almost like alien, like or not. Not even they would even probably not even necessarily think alien. Just like yeah, it has to be from the gods. This has to be from the gods.
I do
There's
not
no
know
other
if
explanation.
I have seen craftsmanship like this
I have never seen a
ever.
thing like this.
It's from
Yes.
God. It's that's obviously I,
Well, the gods.
Let us not be too hasty.
no,
No?
but
There are many
it
things we
gave
cannot explain in
it
this
gave
world.
us a gift. Well, it gave me a
Yeah,
gift.
and if we cannot explain it, it is the
It gave you a
gods.
gift. After, it has given you a gift as well. And it
But
has given you one, Ida?
She changes into a noosh.
I I kind of stagger back a little bit.
yeah, Halfdor pulls his like half dagger, half short sword, and it's like, whoa, whoa, okay,
Look,
whoa.
There are many stories of items of power that grant magics. I rub it to see if anything happens.
No, but it is very shiny.
Will Smith comes out.
And it's still shiny. It is fallen from the sky and it is there are others, you know?
Can I roll a lore to see if there was anything in any like myths or like
Let let
anything
me
I've
tell
known?
you, this has already happened maybe more than once before this. In lands different from your own, it is no secret. This is why I come.
They're my my father told us stories
Hmm.
of people with the powers of Loki
Who is
Hmm.
Loki?
and of Thor and of Surtur, the fire giants. They these are all they are gods and the children of gods and the foes of gods and giants and elves and all the like. And Odin, the All Father's, one of his main was Loki, who could change. Can you turn into a horse?
Excuse me.
Can you try?
Are horses around? I mean, there's horses around.
There are horses around. Yeah.
Yeah, you've seen war now, right? Like the
She
Normans would have brought some.
Hmm.
she Anoush watches himself tilt his head in a way maybe he's never moved ever. I don't know how Anoush moves, but she's very doing Ida movements in another person's body, so it's
Hmm.
probably a little off-putting. She tilts her head. How big is this boat?
No, we're on land now.
You're on
I
land.
thought.
Okay, we're on land.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
she kind of stops, and then all of a sudden, she's a horse. She like falls forward, and she like it's a weird like we haven't talked about what it looks like when Ida changes, but it's a weird like there's almost like a children's book about it of like people changing into other animals. Like it might be that a slightly horrifying transition.
I hate
And then
you.
she just goes
I hate you so much.
she goes she can't talk. She's a
Uh,
horse.
and then I think Halfdor, like it full like jaw open, is like, "May I?" and tries to like look for an affirmation to like brush your mane.
She's like horses are assholes.
Nope, I understand.
Mentally, do you give any affirmation or response?
Uh, she just bites at him.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, she's
Yes.
she's also not. She's this is weird. She's like, this might be too weird for her. So I think she changes back into a human again. She's like,
Yeah. And then so Halfdor says, Anush, I do believe the legends. I just assumed they were myths and legends, and my father told them as stories. To I don't, but perhaps there is truth to them. Not
Perhaps
perhaps. It seems as though I see it with my own eyes.
what?
there are many reasons for us to tell myths and legends. Our stories always hold a grain of truth, I think. Aristotle spoke of a
Who?
disturbance in the sky. A, a Greek philosopher, you know what this means?
Yes.
Spoke of things that we do not understand that we want to gain, gain, want, gain, have these things that we cannot touch. But more recently, in the East, Sark, or the Orient you call, there is similar disturbance in the sky. I do not know how, but now I think it is coming more apparent. I saw this happen. I saw this disturbance before it did, and I spent a lot of time. I spent a lot of time trying to come here and find it, and now it seems so fast. I thought I had more time.
What is your gift?
I do not know. I do not know if I have one.
Ida pokes him.
You just
Ow, ow, ow.
Halfdor poked at the
Oh.
same exact time.
Stop! Ow! Stop it! Stop it! No! I do not know if I have a gift. I did not see gifts on the other men who attacked us.
But
Only the
no,
man with
but
hands of fire and
yes,
the
and
woman who spoke and soothed with
no,
just her
and
words.
there was Merwine. She turned into water or
We,
something.
I
She turned
also
into
didn't
water.
see
That
my
is right.
gift until I needed it.
What was your gift? Is it more
Anush,
strength?
no, Anush explained. Well, of a type. Anush explained to me that coinciding with me wanting it, trying to create distance, our lovely uh, pagan went flying. When I needed the space, when I needed the distraction, it happened twice.
I
I
punched
dug.
him. I punched him in the face with your hand. Thank you.
Yes. Oh, by the way, Halfdor has taken off his wool or his fur like big cloak, and you see why he always wore it. He has like runic. He's wearing just like a light tunic now, and you could see like where just out of what would be usually visible is like traditional like Nordic runes and stuff. And he has some tattoos that not a lot of people in the South would be very open to.
Huh. Yeah, I see we are a a group not meant to come together. Ha! It is a joke. I turned to Ida.
I don't get it.
It's okay.
Why?
It's
Why aren't
okay.
we meant to come
You'll,
together? This is good.
you'll get it.
This is
I don't know if it's good.
this is it is good, but it is not known.
We have one of the
Not
most
meant to be.
powerful men in the world, potentially after us. We need to figure out what our next step is.
Do you think the ball from God still gives powers? Should we hide it?
Maybe. Yes.
Yes.
Very much so.
Can I do a notice roll to see what Alfred, or an empathy? Would it be empathy to read their his like or a rapport? Would it be a rapport roll to see to see what Alfred's vibe is?
Rude.
You can definitely give a empathy roll for Alfred.
Empathy. I don't think I have anything with empathy.
We're not empathetic people, guys.
No, yeah. Halfthor is very wrapped up in his
I
own
can
troubles.
help you with empathy.
Okay,
Oh,
please.
I don't know if I know to, though.
Yeah.
2 plus 2. So a fair.
Fair. Okay. Um, so Alfred has, ever since you guys made landfall, um, been sort of sticking around, and he saw the horse transformation. He is in sort of stunned silence, and that's all you can tell.
Okay. I would like to call Ulf over and say, Ulf, your father served my father as you have served me for many years. And I could not ask for a more loyal or better man. And for that reason, I respect and care for you. And many others. For those and many other reasons, I respect and care for you. And so because of that, I ask you this: if you would be willing to touch the shiny ball, we need to see if it is still working. 'Cause I would imagine Anush is still holding it, right?
Yeah.
I do not know from whence this came, but it did fall from the sky. So I do not believe it malevolent in nature or bad. However, this is your decision, and if you need time to think about it, do so.
Should definitely
But
be warned, it did kill someone.
who did it kill?
It liquefied the woman,
Ah,
turned her into something the earth soaked up.
so with
but
one hand you can touch the shiny ball, with the other hand you could hold a weapon.
Yeah,
Ida's just sitting staring at Anush like, what is your deal now?
he was ready as soon as you said it to touch the thing, and then as soon as Anush said that it had killed someone, it's like, ooh.
I do not know. It is a risk. It is of not.
But we don't know.
Yes?
The Serdic turned his
Oh,
arm turned into fire,
that is true, and he is not dead.
and he's
So
not dead.
maybe
So maybe
she turned to
she is
water.
still alive. She just
Or she is. We do not know
we
this.
don't know.
We
Well,
just know
then
that there is
exactly.
Listen,
risk to it.
Wolf,
You
I can
claimed she
turn into
died,
a
but you do not
horse
know.
and Halfthor and Anoush, and I actually turned into a priest. I might be going. Am I going to hell? I might be going to hell.
I think our best plan of action is not to infect somebody else with this, but to find out more about the gifts or the curses we have been granted.
Can
Haftor, if I may, what else can you touch with your mind?
I was man, Kim, we are just on the same wavelength. Because I was about to say I would like to use another of my abilities
Mm-hmm.
to try to I could use empathy, investigate, or notice to glean information from people's minds.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to do so with Oof to see what is going on in his big noggin.
All right, give me an empathy roll.
Anoush, Anoush, how does Halfthor?
I don't
Is it
think I
drawn
have
on
another empathy.
how his
+2.
markings on his skin?
I can show you later.
So a fair.
Fair. All right.
I think you might be able to do it yourself, though. Here, Edith, think of the markings he has on his skin. Imagine one of them on the back of your hand. Do you see it? It's there. It's good. Yes. That is how it is done.
Wow.
Hathor, you're sort of focused on him. You hear in your mind him thinking, I am Hathor's man. Even if this is dangerous, I must. I cannot be seen as weak now. I must take this up. And he looks up and says, I am your man.
I think with like a softness, like a kindness, a point, whatever, right? A poignance that Halfdor hadn't felt in a long time. I think he feels one like a sadness, but also like a up to this point he probably always treated Ulf well, but never quite as like a, just sad to say, right? But truly, like, he probably never treated him like a human.
Mm,
Never saw him as a human. He always seen him as the guy who, like, yeah, he just does what I say and do.
right.
Um, and I'm thankful for that, and I like spending time with him. But he's just another one. Like, his son is just gonna serve my son, right? Like, it's just gonna be the way it is.
Mm.
And I like, he puts a hand on Ulf's shoulder, puts his hand down as he goes to reach for it, and says, Ulf, you are your own man. Any bonds, any oaths made, I release you from them today. If you still want to take the risk, let it be your own choice. And if you still want to serve with me, then let me earn it. And he sort of like sticks a hand out for a to tie off this new agreement.
He is bewildered and he seems unsure as how to take this exactly. I thank you, and he puts his hand out and shakes it.
Yes. Perhaps go hunt,
Grasps it.
find a rabbit, a squirrel, maybe a deer if you can. Think
I
through
am
this.
hungry.
Think through this. Just make your decision. And send Alfred over here.
He does so. So he takes off, grabs Alfred on the way, and says, "How can I help you?"
As your lord, touch the ball.
Just a moment. Okay. He is looking at you with this absolute sense of defiance, but he's hiding it. So go ahead and give me an empathy roll. I want to see if you notice.
Oh, shit. I'll just pick up another one. Oh, man. Is there any aspect I can dig out with this? Nope. I'm only fascinated by Anoush.
It
I
wouldn't
mean, you
be
can make an aspect right now.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be a
I was gonna say
campaign.
because I like the idea of, right, because like one of my troubles is like a threat to the Earl, carrying out threats. Just do a little play on words
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think he's Halfthor has never been trusting of Alfred,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, as he was forced to take him on his journey.
Yes.
which, by the way, I don't think Ida and Anush know anything
No?
about.
Not
You
so
know
far.
what? I know about servant master dynamics, so I'm not even batting an eye.
Yeah, much better. A plus. We're empathy, right? Yeah, I don't have any empathy, but it is a +2, so a fair.
Fair. That is enough to see this glint of defiance in his eyes, because he did not roll very well.
I think with that, Half Thor will say, Alfred, I've given you an order, and now I will give you a choice. You can touch the ball, or the ball will touch you. And I grab it from Anoush, and I
I move
hold
it
it
away.
very.
I don't let him grab it.
All right, opposed
I just
athletics.
instinctively huddle
Yeah,
it in my body.
I was gonna say. I think he's trying to grab it.
Roll some
Opposed
athletics.
athletics.
Yeah.
Athletic?
Great.
Cool. That's more. I guess I got to roll a grape.
We're in England and we're playing rugby.
I've rolled a good.
All
Well, it's
right.
not. Well, it ain't good enough, isn't it?
Nice.
All right, you get a hold of the ball.
And I hold it in a half like this, right? Where I could pull it back
Mm-hmm.
and hit him with it, or he could reach out and touch it.
All right, his expression turns steely. He frowns and nods, and let me see how well he hides his. Oh no, he's visibly trembling.
Ida is just sitting here like absolutely gleefully watching, like, do it.
He is visibly trembling. He reaches out his hand, pulls it back a couple of times, and finally, looking in your eyes as he does it, shoves his hand onto the metal ball.
Can I roll a notice to see if I see anything?
Yeah.
Can I
Anybody else
help
wanna
with
help?
Yeah, I want to help
Yeah.
because that's what is your notice at? Where do you have notice?
Yeah. Not good. It's a average. So if you have more,
I
I
have it
will
at
help
fair.
you.
I have it at fair. Yeah. So at least it's
Yeah,
one
yeah.
more
I will
than
help you then.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Ida is just like, come on. Hell yeah. That's a +4.
Nice.
So 1, 2, 3. Fantastic.
Fantastic. All right. With a fantastic, you notice that absolutely nothing happens whatsoever.
Oh, I think the magic's gone.
Hmm.
We do not know this.
Unless it is a secret. Maybe it's in his brain.
Unless there is a reason
There is
that you have
nothing.
been given these gifts. For I did not receive one. So maybe it is something you have done. Maybe it is being. I do not know yet.
Well, there is no secrets in Alfred's brain except what the Earl Northumberland tells
What?
him. So
You say you saw inside the secrets of a man's brain.
I did.
This is very interesting. Not only can you reach what is physical, but you can reach the metaphysical as well.
And
What
then
else can you do?
Well, Anusha's doing this. I just literally don't even say anything. I just wave Alfred off to like get out of here.
Does he fly away?
Into the water.
Yeah, can we do like accidental? Let's see if that happens. Maintain control.
SWAT.
Yeah. You move objects and make attack and defense rolls with will. Yeah. So I'll. Oh no, it's not good. It's Well, actually, I think it is.
If it's accidental,
It is fair.
Can it hit a noosh?
It's fair.
It's fair.
Okay,
I got three
cracks Anusha's
three
neck.
negatives.
Then we find
with
out
a
it's
fair,
him.
he gets
Dark.
shoved a little bit of shove, but he turns around and leaves on his own accord.
And then I go into, yes, I did reach into Ulf's mind. It is hard to explain
I'm gonna start thinking, just directed at him as much as I can. Can you hear me? 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 Can you hear me?
If I see him intently looking, can I roll a notice to try to dig in there?
Absolutely.
Can I get a help because he's trying to do?
Yes.
I
Okay.
will help you. Yeah,
That's what I mean
I have
from
noticed.
you.
Yes.
Okay, +2 plus, or no, +2. Yeah. Okay.
You only need an average.
-1, and then my notice. It is a fair.
Cool. Yeah, you can
Sorry,
hear him
I
saying
feel
that in
like
his
I'm
mind.
doing basic algebra again. I kind of like a
Welcome.
flashback onto the kitchen table with my dad for a second there, with
Mhm.
wait. If a plus and a minus
That'll
cancel
be
out,
that'll be
and
two
then but if
mental
it's
stress.
times,
That'll
yeah,
be 2 mental stress.
I know. I thought less dice and less confusion would be easier, but I just
You
got,
gotta do math on this one in a
yeah.
weird
I think
way.
I'm also just distracted by the pretty colors. But yeah, so I respond to Anush. I do hear you.
And you hear in your head, I think we need to leave as fast as we can if we are being followed. Do you know someplace safe? A hideaway, maybe offshore?
This is the hideaway. I don't know that there is anywhere safe.
Then we must spend time with your gifts.
Why
I
is
think if we
everyone
can.
being quiet?
I start
Oh
eating.
no, Hafthor is
Offer it to you.
is responding to you out loud.
Oh, okay, so
Mm,
it's like,
So you're only
mm.
hearing half, and you're like, you hear, I don't know if anywhere is safe. This is the safest place I could think of with Edith's
And I'm
help.
only speaking to you in your mind at this point. Once I've
And
learned that
yeah,
you
and
can
then so
do
you
this.
hear a pause, and then you hear, yes,
staring.
I do. There is someone in town I can reach out to, a contact. I don't. Oof.
You know how these people react to strange things.
I do.
Not well.
And he just kind of
You've seen how
touches.
your people have acted to this strange thing. And I venture to guess what you read is not well. We need to get you two to a point where danger is not an option, where we can study and learn the reason why you have been gifted or cursed.
If
I think. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
if you can
And that
see into people's minds, could you maybe see his gift in his head even if he doesn't know it?
I do not
Like,
know if
would
I
your
have a
soul
gift.
know it? But so maybe your soul knows it, but you don't.
Well, maybe my gift is this. I help you both, and I learn the meaning of
If
this.
he's talking in your
It's
head, you're talking in his head, and he can hear it, and he can get into your head. Why do you have a problem with him looking in your head?
there are many things in my head he does not need to know. Things I
Uh,
do not say, for I keep them to myself. If I were to allow him these things, I would say them out loud. I am sure there are things you do not want people learning about yourself.
I
No?
don't have any secrets. This is the
I'm
most
sure you don't have
interesting thing
secrets.
that has ever happened to me. And you know it. You know the thing I wouldn't tell anybody.
If you have secrets, why do you wear those clothes?
Because I didn't want to get sent home. That's not a
uh,
Now?
secret. That's acting. That's like a pantomime.
These no, your clothes that you have on now. Why are you
acting is a
wearing them?
word that doesn't exist at this point. By the way, it's like
Oh,
interesting.
okay. She'll take off her clothes at this point.
Oh, oh,
There's
this is not
no
what I meant. No.
there's-
Oh, turn
Well
away.
then why are you
Hafthor,
saying weird things?
Because
yeah,
there is a
Hafthor doesn't.
reason we wear clothes. It is to keep our bodies a secret because usually people are embarrassed by this. It is
I
fine if you are not. Yes, no, you have no secrets. I have mine.
During this whole exchange, you see Hafthor pull out a pouch, and pull like a couple mushrooms and just pop them as he's thinking, uh, and just offers them to Anush.
I take them and I put them away.
No, these are mine.
Okay, I give them back.
He puts his pouch back in his, and then makes a mental note that he needs to have Ulf go look for more mushrooms. And then he thinks again, oh man, they probably don't grow down here. And thinks about making sure he rations his thinking caps, as he calls them.
Google's hallucinogenic mushrooms in Hastings.
I don't think the climate would be right in
No.
a coastal town. And so and he just kind of, he doesn't take like a crazy amount, right? It's just enough to open his mind a little bit. And he's thinking about what Anush said about running. And he's looking at Ida, even after they got down to their birthday suit.
Just for a second.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
is just kind of completely unfazed, right? Like male and female nudity in Nordic culture is not as right as there's a lot more bath time, and bath time together. So, and I think he said, because he's thinking about, nobody even knows they're gone yet, probably. But if they find out the drunken fisherman's daughter is gone, he doesn't know how intelligent Mayor Edmund or Robert are, but they will probably be smart enough to put together that Ida is involved. And as much as Hafthor agrees with Anush that they should run, he feels a duty and responsibility to the person who was kind to them enough to help them out, and wants to make sure that Ida and her father end up fine. So says none of that. It's just
Okay, I was
chewing
gonna
on his
say, what
cap.
does
Does absolutely none of that, and says, I'm going to go for a bath. If anybody cares to join, I believe there are things we need to talk about later. I'm not sure running is the right choice. And then he yells over to Alfred. He says, Alfred, gather firewood and look for mushrooms. And then he just like starts taking off his tunic and walking towards the water. And you see little hairy Nordic butt cheeks waddle into the water.
Are you going to bathe in the ocean?
Yes.
In the sea?
It is refreshing.
There are streams. That's weird. There's other places to go.
Yeah, he's not bathing for cleanliness. He just wants the cold water and the refreshing feel, and that. He doesn't say any of that. He's like, this is fine.
Ida is watching Alfred because it's not so subtle that Hafthor doesn't like or trust this man. And has also now like waved him off, and she's thinking like a freaking peasant. So she's like, why is he not gonna run away and tell everyone where we are? So yeah, is Alfred doing what Hafthor wanted, or is he like bouncing?
Roll notice.
Good.
Hathor has ordered Alfred to gather firewood, and he is doing so at the moment. He is at the edge of the trees, grabbing fallen branches and twigs and bringing them to the shore.
Okay.
So he seems to be just fine, just doing what he's told.
Okay. Yeah, she's like the giddiness and the euphoria is starting to fade a little bit, like the adrenaline is a little bit, and now she's being like, wait a minute. So she's now on guard, like she's like, what is happening? Yeah.
All right. About an hour later, Oof returns with a doe that he has managed to shoot and take down, and he is carrying it triumphantly. We shall eat well.
Yeah, I think after that, like during that time, Halfdor, just kind of like does the like sitting, sort of almost neck deep, and it's like more going for a swim almost, but like a light, like just kind of walking around. And as the mushrooms kick in, um, is like really enjoying the physical feeling, the like, because the way that the what's it called, its work, um the water's actually not that cold. It's pretty warm in October off the coast of Hastings.
Mm,
um I had to look it up to make sure, but I was like pretty sure it wouldn't be that cold.
hmm
It's about 18 degrees Celsius, which is warmer than it is the Pacific Ocean right now.
Right.
um so he's just kind of enjoying the feel of the water and the saltiness, and is washing his hair and as he thinks through it. And then he goes to the ship and gets out, there's like flint and steel and stuff to start the fire. And he also brings out, so Halfdor isn't, I haven't really described him physically. Halfdor is not a true Dane, right? So he is a little undersized. And instead of having like pure blonde hair, it's like a dirty blonde. And his eyes are green, as opposed to like a grayish green, as opposed to like a striking blue, which you think of when you think of Nordic peoples. Um, he's got the big beard with a couple of braids in there and stuff. And he pulls, but Ulf, however, is huge. Is a like he's got his father's. He is a descendant of the berserkers who so terrified this land a few hundred years before, and he is a striking um, man in that. And so he also grabs out the war hammer that he has, that Oof has, that neck, that is in the sort of hidden compartment below decks, that next to the lockbox and a few of the emergency goods that Halfdor was worried about getting into, if he didn't sell any more cats or
hmm
horses soon. Um, and so he brings that up, and as he approaches the fire that I'm assuming Ulf or Alfred started, they
Yeah,
should have
Alfred
known
started
to.
fire.
Yeah. And tosses the hammer as much as he can. He's pretty strong, but it's a big hammer. Yeah. And it definitely looks like a child, you know, not a child, like a teenager handing something off to a full grown adult that is very strong. It's like there's an ease in that load shifting, right?
hmm
And he says, Ulf, I do believe uh, war is coming, and we should be ready. Um,
Then we will meet it, as our fathers did.
and he gives him kind of like that sullen nod. And then, yeah, I say to Anush, I do believe it is the wisest course of action to run. However, as this sun sets, Ida's father will begin to worry.
Ida
And
laughs at that, by the way.
oh, nope.
No. My father will, at this point, be far too drunk to notice my absence.
Then we are lucky. Eventually, someone will wonder where Ida is.
You
I
greatly overestimate the value I have in that town.
I will be more honest with you now, Ida, than perhaps I maybe should have, or people have been with you. It is not you that holds value, but what you sell. And I do believe your father will miss the profits and the labor that you provide. And that will
He
not go unnoticed.
he will notice that I am gone. He will not care.
Hmm.
He
Okay.
will assume that I have run away or been taken. Very, very common occurrences in our town.
I think at that point, Anoush looks up from like some of his scrolls where he has from for like the past hour and a half been like trying to sketch the faces of everybody who was around this metallic ball and looks to Ida, kind of soaks what she said in, and then turns to Halfthor and sizes him up towards Oof. And he says to Halfthor, "You are not as strong as him, are you?
I am not.
You wish to change this world so strongly, but your size, it is a problem. You are
I do
not as
not
strong
wish
as
to
the
change the
others."
world. I wish to change my place in this world.
It is changing the world,
The
yes.
world can go as it may, as long as I can do as I may.
And you have concealed yourself from all of these people. You have hided your runes. Anita, you are not seen. You can move throughout with sort of a disguise already, yes?
Yes, I guess I can.
Huh. I wonder. I wonder if these parts of yourselves, are so strong that they have come to the surface when this disturbance. Hmm. We do not know. We do not know, and we need to know more.
What
I do
part of
not
you
know.
came to the surface? What part of you do you hide?
We do not know, and we need to know more. And we
I
cannot
think you
learn here.
I think you know what you hide. And I wait for the day that you share it.
No matter how cryptic or mystic you wish to be, Hathor, it does not help the fact that we do not know what is happening.
I agree. I
And putting
however
this suspicion on other people does not help. I have given you what I know. I have said I wish you not to know my secrets in my brain, and that has made you suspicious, okay? Hey,
well then let us leave this subject where it lie. I merely bring up Ida's family, her father, her
you wish to
village.
leave.
I do not. I do wish to leave. I do not think we should. I believe that duty binds us.
Will you
Ida
leave
was my
tonight?
friend. Ida was my friend in
Will
this
you leave
town.
tonight?
I will not. I will not
Okay.
subject a man to torture.
I believe
Because,
we make camp, we sleep for the night, and we talk about this in the morning then.
okay.
Do I
I'm
get
going to
it
like wander off away from the camp, but like inside of the light of the fire.
before as you walk away? Ida pipes up and says, "As the only person who lives here, do I get a say, or are you going to keep talking over me?"
I lower my head.
It is smart to stay here. It is not safe in the woods. There are wolves and there are rogues. I mean, there are people leaving that camp who are trying to hurt people. So we should stay here. But you, Anush, you are very smart. You are smarter than me, than I could ever imagine being. So where do you think we can get answers? You seem to have a thought. Where do you want to go?
I think our answers lie more in the east than they do here. We must look for patterns, why this is happening, and we follow the why, we find more people who can help us. If we
But
think of this as a fabric, right? We need to find each thread. And to find one thread, we must have a keen eye, someone who knows fabric, someone who can weave and unweave without hurting it as a whole.
so aren't those other people that were there part of the fabric? And they're closer.
They are part of the fabric. I do not know if they are weavers.
But we don't know unless we go and check. And it seems.
But if they are part of the fabric, there are threads that need to be pulled and explored.
I do not know if by us. I think we need to find someone who has seen this before. Give us a perspective outside of our own.
You can.
There's a saying with war, when you are in the trenches, you cannot see the fight.
Well, can you write one of those scrolls and send it to somebody?
I do not know. I do not know them. Let me see if I have contacts I can write to. But I think going there ourselves would be faster.
That's
You
ages
want to
away.
go?
It's ages away. I will write a letter. Yes, I do believe we need some sleep.
I have someone who can get a letter to someone who maybe can get it. We do need rest. Ida, do not worry. Myself, Ulf, and Alfred will take shifts to ward off. And if you would
I
like,
don't need you to do that. And she turns into a wolf and circles.
you really are a child of Loki. You've
Friend.
now turned into both
Yeah.
of the animals associated.
Fenrir and a horse. I don't have enough legs.
You will. Then you can. We all need rest, and we will take shifts. Then there will be four, and the load is lightened. Anush, I'm not sure this is your thing, but
What?
if you would like to take a shift at guard in the night, you are welcome. Just please stay close to wake anybody up.
Yes, I
You
will do what I can.
do you not want to? I'm okay with that too.
No, I want to. I will help.
Uh,
I
cool.
think Ida goes in wolf form. She's still a wolf. She thinks this is badass at this point. So she goes over and she like just kind of leans against Anush like a dog.
I think into Hafthor's mind. Maybe one day you can connect us all and we do not have to use our words, but simply can communicate simple thoughts to each other without the fear of not being known.
Can I do a notice to see if I pick that up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think now we've developed essentially a
Telepathic bond.
no,
Mind
like
link!
no. I was gonna say we've developed a body language shorthand that Halfdoor recognizes when Anush is trying to
Can't have a body language
force his thoughts into
thing with
his...
Ida. She does not have the same body ever.
Yeah. Plus one, plus whatever
Give you
my
that.
notice.
What's
Plus
that
one.
wolf thinking?
Good.
All right. Yeah, you get it. Not a problem.
Yeah. So then, yeah, I think Halfdoor will try to think about that. And as he pops another cap and goes to sleep.
All right.
Or, well, not goes to sleep, but goes to, like, rest. And I think Halfdoor is a guy who only sleeps, like, 4 to 6 hours a night for when there's, like, a lot to think about and has been sitting around the fire with, like, a sketch pad and is like spatially drawing out his thoughts, not represented by words, but is like using like a piece of chalk or like a carbon, right, a really like burnt piece of wood to sketch out spatially like what is weighing on his mind. And in
Mm-hmm.
the center is the Earl, and then there is um the idea of he feels a responsibility towards Ida and their family and not wanting to put the town into danger because of what he did.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then thinks about his family. That makes him think about his family and is wondering how many days until the Earl can use his absence as justification for what Halfdor believes are his real intentions. And then he thinks about, when is Alfred going to stick something in my neck while I'm asleep? And maybe I shouldn't stay, shouldn't be, he shouldn't have guard on his own. Um, and then with that, eventually uh, puts the notebook, just folds it, and kind of passes out
All right.
into unrestive sleep.
All right. The chill.
I
Oh, go on.
don't go to sleep.
No?
I stay up all night trying to find out what my power is. And if I have one, I think these are the nights of the hours where I'm just like, I got to figure this out. So much is weighing on my mind. So much is rushing through my head right now. I try to like reach out with my mind like Halfthor does and move things to no avail. I try to read the thoughts of the people who are sleeping to no avail. I try to look at my hand and focus on his tattoos and make it appear like I saw Ida do. I try to turn myself into water, and then I think I stare at the fire for a bit. And I look at my hands, and I look at the fire, and I look at my hands, and I close my eyes, and I take a deep breath, and I just put both of them in the flames.
Oh, boy.
And it hurts like a motherfucker. And I try not to scream, but I think I do. And like I leave them in there too long, and I see as I pull them out that they're just like blistered and like cracked and burned.
Who was on watch when this happened?
Me.
Okay, so then
Made
yeah,
it.
I think at that point Halfdor would have been asleep, but
Yeah.
wakes up as a light sleeper. Got someone used to being out camping in.
Ida wakes up
Halfdor is
too.
like on the cutting edge of guerrilla warfare, right? He was not a like led large men into whatever. He did more like, me, these 10 guys are gonna go try to like rescue someone from a castle, or like, you know what I mean, a
Mm-hmm.
fort, and like that kind of stuff. And so yeah, he wakes from a dream that it was where he saw Ida turn into a wolf and attack him, or what he thought was going to attack him, but jump at Pagan, who was behind him. And Pagan was a towering, like Thor-like image, and they were battling, and Halfdor felt useless as Ulf's body was on the ground and was trying to figure out a way. And then he woke up to screaming, um,
Ida
and
sleeps
looks
the
at
sleep of
Anusha's
somebody
hand.
whose father is an abusive drunk, so therefore needs to be on
Yeah.
edge. So she also just and sees and just runs to you and goes, "What have you done?"
It is okay, Halleys.
No.
I will fix it. I have. I
Uh,
kind of just like start to reach into my bag to like find like balm and like linen wrap, and as I pull my hands out,
Can I stop his hands,
Mm-hmm.
reach into his mind, and see what he's trying to grab? So I want to like grab him by the wrist
oh,
so that
Ida
I'm not
doesn't.
touching the wound.
Ida like digs into the bat.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
she's
but I
in
imagine he's got like a ton of stuff, and so I'm trying to like make sure I know what the thing is that he needs.
women's magic. she burns. I mean like
That's true. No, yeah, you're right.
she has pagan tricks that were taught by mothers and daughters, and so if he's going towards his bag, she would be like, oh, of course he's got things, okay, and would try to be helping dig out things. Yeah.
I think you would probably see me just looking at my hands as you kind of put me into your focus, and I don't think you see anything wrong.
Hafthor! No, his gift! Look!
Yeah, Hafthor was trying to go into his own bag because they probably have some like shit from up north, right? Some sort of poultice, some like wound, shove it in the wound.
No,
and
look!
Look, what?
Look at his hands!
Oh, I believe we found your gift.
You were blessed.
And then I think I'm gonna say to Anush, and he pulls out again his like, it is like the size of like a large Bowie knife. It's mainly used as like a defensive weapon, right? It's like a somewhere between a short sword and a big knife, right? And it, like he reaches out for Anush's hand and tries to say to him in his mind, I would never deliberately harm you, my friend. Do you trust me?
You hear back, I do not think I do. I get up and I walk away.
Oh,
Okay, and then he sheathes his little weapon and he sits there. He's like, I think he may be indestructible. There's a
No, I don't know what
there's
that word means.
have you you wouldn't know. You're right. You're like a peasant.
I'm
But
dumb as
I would
hell.
say, yeah. I would say in the myths of my father's land, I mentioned Loki a few times as you have. He was someone who was a trickster and a shapeshifter and turned into horses and wolves, ironically, and could be anyone or anything, and snakes and all the like. The Allfather's wife, however, Freya, had a son named Balder, and his Freya was so concerned with the prophecy of her son being the cause of Ragnarok that she protected and warded him where nothing could do him any harm. And this is a gift from the gods.
I mean,
I believe this is his gift.
we have stories like that as well. I mean, Jesus healed people, like blindness
Yes.
and all kinds of things.
Jesus, yes.
Listen, you
I
sound very
didn't-
sarcastic. I don't make fun of
No,
your Odin talk or your weird Loki thing.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying to be open.
You're like Loki. I mean, nobody's turning
He's like
anything water into.
Jesus, which
Nobody's turning water into wine.
Jesus was from the, the middle, whatever the Middle East is called in this place of the wording that I don't know.
the Holy Land.
He's from the Holy Land.
There you go.
Mm,
We should let him be. This is,
yeah, I think I might have upset our friend.
well, I don't know what you were doing. You just kind of held a really big knife out, and that was a little scary. So
I just
I
wanted to
imagine
see
you
if
talked in your head. You had that look on your face that you guys sometimes get when you talk in each other's heads, and I don't get to be a part of it.
And then I talk into Ida's head, and I say, "You are always a part of it. You are one of us."
And with that, you settle back into your bed and continue the rest of the night. The cold sets in and you bundle yourselves up. And when you wake in the morning, Alfred and the sphere are gone.
Fucking son of a bitch.
Dun,
No.
dun, dun.
No.
Like,
I should have taken it with me. I hate everything.
Thank you all for joining us today for the first episode of Halleys Children. We hope you'll join us again soon.
No.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
A sphere.
Yeah!
Alfred.
The wolf is coming.